Now, why am I walking around in the mud right now? I got a question, an Ask Me Anything question from a guy from the countryside of Romania, which is awesome. You know, YouTube having an international audience. Now I got the forklift noise in this video, so that's perfect. So I got an Ask Me Anything about irrigating pastures, and I want to discuss that in today's video. So I got a question from, we'll just call it Eastern Romania, on the countryside of Romania. Long hot summers with little to no rain. His parents are growing cereal grains, and last summer they had 98 days without any rain at all. It's getting more difficult for plants to live in this heat, and our wheat production seems to be in decline. For raising chickens, do I irrigate my pastures? Do I have any specific type of grass? What can you do if you want to raise pastured poultry in a changing climate? Now, my thoughts there is that my production model here on my farm has had to change with a changing climate, just the way yours is going to have to change with whatever you're trying to do on your piece of property. I've been very in tune with the weather on this specific piece of land for 6 years, because I've been here since 2013. And year to year, it has gotten slowly more and more wet. And this year, for the first time ever, in mid to late May, my pastures are almost unusable. Like, you can't walk on the ground here in sneakers. You have to wear rubber boots. And usually it starts drying out about now, and there's no signs of that slowing up. And even as I'm making this video, I've gotten a few raindrops. So if it's increasingly dry, changing models, or you know, if your climate is changing, your land is changing your model is the good way to go. It's just something that even if you've been doing it for 100 years, there's unprecedented weather events and man-made climate change happening right now, and that sucks. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We are affecting the climate, and it's just not it's not good for anybody. So for me, I've actually raised less chickens now than I have in the past. Part of that is because I've had a baby this year. Part of that is because the brewery's taken off and I had more responsibilities there. And part of that is because if I had the amount of chickens that I used to have today, I'd be so effed. Those chickens would not do well in the soggy ground that you saw me walking around in the beginning of this video. They'd be wet. There's not a good way to get broilers up off that ground. You really want them to have the impact, or the connection to the grass and that availability to the grass. You don't want to have them just in cages above the grass, because that defeats the whole purpose. You might as well raise them in a barn. But this is one of those things that we're going to have to face, and we're going to have to adapt to. That you may want to raise something, or you may traditionally have grown something on a piece of property, and as the climate changes, we're going to have to change with that. So my business model has changed up a little bit. My scale and my pastures have changed up a whole bunch to adapt to the last couple years even. Yeah, man, you can get onto a piece of property, you can feel passionate about something, but if that property and that area, your region, says that it's not going to do well there, don't try to fight nature. Do something else. Otherwise, you're going to be in an uphill battle, and you're just going to die complaining about how hard farming is. It may be a millennial mindset that you can just pick up and move somewhere, or that you can change and adapt. I grew up in a generation that doesn't see, like, the dream of getting into a job, working there your whole life and having a pension and retiring. Like, I'm never going to retire. It's just not a thing. So for me, being adaptable, changing my lifestyle, changing my farm is just par for the course. You know, things are happening that are out of our control now, that we're just going to have to adjust to. So pasture poultry may be your current passion, Sylvia, but it may not be suited well for your farm. Pastured poultry is absolutely my passion, and there are little things I can do to probably change some stuff up around here, but for now, I'm going to adjust the production and the scale of different entities on my farm as best as I can to keep it a working farm, and to keep me in agriculture. I'll always be in agriculture in some capacity in my life. I found a love and a passion that I'm willing to fight for and to work hard on. But at the end of the day, if the land says no, the land says no. So I'd love to continue this conversation. I've got a little philosophical on starting off on whether or not I irrigate my pastures. I would, if I could send you some of my water, I would. My goodness. Quite frankly, I'm a little depressed about it and kind of sick of seeing it. But that's a topic for another day. I do hope that the sun comes out both on my day and yours, and that you have an awesome week. Some red-winged blackbirds over here talking. We got some frogs going crazy. The forklift keeps moving stuff around. I mean, production is happening behind me in the brewery, and I am lucky enough that I get to sit and take all this in. So as the frogs drown me out, just want to wish you again, have a great day, have an awesome week, and until next time, I will literally see you out in the field.